Okay, so I figured I'd make a little separate video for this, and it's just a heads up really that from here on it's likely that I'm going to be using Mark of Sauron to do Third Age Total War battles. Now, I do know about Divide and Conquer, and I would almost certainly use that if the multiplayer was stable, but because I only really use Third Age for its multiplayer component and not for the single player stuff, Mark of Sauron is probably the better choice because Divide and Conquer multiplayer is so unstable in my experience, and getting it to work would be a pretty horrendous undertaking. But Mark of Sauron, I thought it would be a bit of a problem to get working, but it turns out it hasn't been. It's actually been pretty stable for the most part. So we will be attempting to use this from now on. At least that is the plan. Now, of course, Mark of Sauron works mechanically a little bit different to standard Third Age in the sense that some of the units have been rebalanced, like for instance archers seem to have taken a nerf across the board, whereas infantry in general seems to have had its defense buffed significantly, so the fights last considerably longer, which is interesting. So, but overall the strengths and weaknesses of everything still remain largely the same, but there is also something else in that I've noticed. It does look slightly nicer. Like we've got Sauron here. Probably one of the few times we're going to be able to see Sauron on the field, because he is of course banned in most battles because of how horrendously overpowered he is. Get a screenshot of Sauron. And the Nazgul actually. But yes, this really is just a video to say that I will be using Mark of Sauron for my Third Age videos from now on. It's likely that it will be the majority of them anyway. I'll still use vanilla occasionally, I suppose, because some maps aren't available on Mark of Sauron, like Kaer Andros is probably the most noticeable one. But yes, it is. I might do the faction overviews again for Mark of Sauron. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm not sure. If people want me to, then I guess I will, because there are two new factions in the Woodland Realms of Dunland. So, yeah, this is really all it is. Now I guess we'll just enjoy Sauron and the Nazgul fighting some Snaga Stalkers. I don't know what it is, but I don't know whether it's the resolution they're using, but this looks slightly better. It looks more like Divide and Conquer than vanilla Third Age. Defeat is a distinct possibility. Sauron is... Never actually seen Sauron in action, really. Never felt the need to use him. Seems to have some weird animations, actually. He goes back to standing completely still after he's swung his mace. Nonetheless, he seems to be making rather short work of these Snaga. As do the Nazgul. Units will last longer in melee, though, so this actually does make certain units more viable, certain tactics more viable. The gulf between elite units and basic units has also been increased somewhat, I've noticed. The stats of elite units are very much better than basic units. Like the Snaga Stalkers are basically the same unit they always were. They might have slightly higher defense, but that's basically it. And the higher infantry has got significant buffs, essentially. But yes, looking forward to using more of Mark of Sauron, because I've done a couple of battles. I haven't recorded them or anything because I'd rather get used to it mechanically, because I'd like to know what I'm talking about before I start speaking about the mechanics of how this is working. But I will still upload some battles fairly soon, but I don't know whether I'll start doing replay commentaries on my battles instead of just live. It's easier to do it live, and also I get the benefit of having others with me speaking, so it's not just myself being awkward as I am now. But on the other side, I don't really get any good cinematic shots as it is with the live battles, so I might start doing a replay every now and then if the battle is very, very good. But that remains to be seen. That's something which again I will do if people really want me to, but again, all of this can be decided at a later date. Sauron has taken virtually no damage to the Snaga. They are wavering. And there we go. Nice kill, Sauron. I doubt we'll be seeing much of you in the future, but there you are. Anyway, that's all I really had to say, so look forward to more Mark of Sauron if you want to watch some Third Age.